Good afternoon, everybody. My apologies for the fact that we start a little bit late, but as you may have noticed, we had quite a few questions during the press midday briefing. I'm very happy to be here with Commissioner Kyriakides, who will present the strategy on COVID-19 therapeutics, and I would like to invite the Commissioner to go straight into the topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let me just start with some general comments. Over the past weeks, we have seen vaccination rates pick up across the EU. The numbers speak for themselves. We have seen more than 34 million doses delivered, a record in the last week. And by the end of this week, we'll have reached 200 million deliveries. At present, over 30% of the EU population has received its first dose, and for the second dose, we have reached 12%. In every single member state, large or small, vaccination centers are mobilized and citizens are being vaccinated, and the numbers are increasing. I would say that within the EU, we can now look ahead with confidence that we will be able to reach our target of vaccinating 70% of the population already in July. This is very positive news. However, we also now know that our response to COVID-19 with vaccinations cannot only be vaccinations. Vaccinations are a life-saving game changer, but they will not be ending the pandemic from one day to the other. We also cannot look past the facts. COVID-19 infections are still high in many parts of Europe. People continue to be infected and fall ill. And among those who recover from COVID-19, we know that many suffer from what is now known as long COVID. They experience symptoms of fatigue, of difficulties in sleep and concentration, and this even weeks and months after the infection is gone. Scientists tell us that it is likely that COVID will become endemic, a virus that circulates in our communities, which we will still have to deal with, like influenza or the other 3 human coronaviruses we already know about. We need to manage it, we need to control it, we need to minimize its impacts. We need to provide citizens with therapeutic solutions and choices. For that, we also need to treat the disease, not just inoculate our citizens against it, so that we can minimize the impact of this virus. Let us remember that the variants and the challenges they pose to the management of the pandemic and our vaccination strategy. Even after the vaccinations, the virus circulating, people will need to be treated. While we now have 4 authorized vaccines in the EU, there is 1 authorized medicine, remdesivir. Our strategy on COVID-19 therapeutics aims to change the situation. We said we will leave no stone unturned at the beginning of this pandemic, and the therapeutic strategy that we are presenting adds another stone to this COVID-19 response. It's crucial that alongside vaccines, we also step up our work on therapeutics, and we will bring the different strands of our response together to speed up recovery, to reduce hospital stays and save lives, to help those who are experiencing more long-term effects of this disease. This is taking a major toll on people, as many of us already know. I have set a very clear goal. We will aim by October to develop and authorize 3 new effective COVID-19 therapeutics that can have the potential to change the course of COVID-19, and another 2 possibly by the end of the year. This is ambitious, but it is feasible, and it is necessary. We have learned over the course of the past year that by working together across the EU, we are able to achieve real results, to bring about change for our citizens, and to deliver what is expected from us. To do so, our therapeutic strategy will kick off a series of actions addressing the entire life cycle of a medicine, looking at boosting research and large-scale clinical trials across the EU, scanning the most promising therapeutics, facilitating the timely authorization process, ensuring industrial production, and securing equitable deployment and ensuring fair access. Let me give you a few specific examples of where the therapeutic strategy will allow us to have a stronger effect compared to one-off uncoordinated actions today. Firstly, we have to know what promising treatments are out there. So we set up a therapeutics innovation booster to accelerate research and bring results to market. We will also carry out a comprehensive scanning exercise, building on the 57 potential therapeutics whose manufacturers have been in touch with the European Medicines Agency already. On the fact of the intense research and scanning, the European Medicines Agency should be able to start 7 additional rolling reviews by the end of the year. And we're not starting from scratch. But our experience with vaccines has shown, once the difficult research and clinical trial stages are passed, that manufacturing capacity can potentially be a bottleneck. This is why we will support flexible EU manufacturing and access to ever-warm industrial facilities reserved to produce for us, with the first funding tranche of €40 million under the EU FAB project, which is part of our HERA incubator. Finally, we also want to make sure member states have equal access to these medicines. By the end of the year, we plan to conclude a further 3 joint procurement of COVID-19 therapeutics. We are looking into the option of also using advanced purchase agreements, as we did for vaccines, to maximize our impact. These are a few of the points of our strategy, which, going beyond COVID-19, is also part of our foundations for our future, biomedical preparedness, and prepare the ground for our new authority, HERA, to structurally take over once operational.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Commissioner. We're now ready to take your questions, and the first question is for Iana Kelly. Iana, go ahead, please.